Hello everybody, Deadlife here, and back with a new update to our build guide. Just wanted to kind of show you guys how my build has progressed, kind of update on what I've been doing, what I found that's new, what's worked for me, and about what I've just all around just started to use. So, going over gear here, if we look at our stat points on the left side, you can see I'm at 70 strength, 44 dex, 10 wisdom, 30 perception, and 10 fortitude. We really want to pump this up to at least 50. We're trying to get that up to 50 with the dropping this ring here for Universal Band of Power. That would get us up to 50, and also dropping my belt for a Belt of Bloodlust would help that as well. But so far, this is the baseline stats that I've been running for quite a while. I did get an Adentist Greatsword drop, though it is an upgrade from the Duke that I was running, especially now that I'm above 20k HP. That is actually really useful, so I've started to run this. And I have runes slotted in there to give me dexterity and attack speed instead of the strength and critical damage reduction, I believe is what it gives you. The other weapon, I have the same exact rune setup going in there just for that more dexterity, just to build more damage, as I am starting to do more damage as a tank, as I find myself doing more PvE related content than PvP content, other than arenas, and this build in arenas kind of just dumps on people anyways. So I'm not really worried about getting more perception unless I'm fighting really high ranged evasion targets. But a lot of people are starting to swap to endurances, so I'm not too worried about it, except for healers. Healers tend to run evasion, so it's a little bit harder to deal with them. So coming over to the armor, as you can see, I did choose a different headpiece from last video. I went with a Helmet of the Field General instead of the Shadow Harvester's mask. This just because it gives me more stun chance and health. I really wanted the health to go in line with the Adentist Greatsword. Built this helmet just kind of that reason specifically, and to be able to stun a little bit easier. Really kind of helps out. We got our Blessed Templar Cloak. That's our upgrade that we really wanted. It gives us that damage reduction as well as collision resistance, which is huge, fighting in PvP as well as just tanking in general. Then we are in our 4-piece of Shock Commander set, this being ranged endurance, health, and a melee endurance, just on every single piece. The only possibility that I've thought of doing is swapping out the gloves into a field general piece just to get that melee heavy attack chance a bit higher. That is the kind of one swap that I might make on this build, but this is meant for more tanky DPS than it is just straight DPS, so I'm kind of running this right now. The block chance is actually pretty huge in PvP, so I do like to run the 4-piece. That being said, PvP wise, these are 2 PvP trinkets, the new necklace that was added recently with our update. I did go ahead and grab this just because it gives me more strength, the hit chance, which is also really good, and then more max health, which is also, again, scaling with our dentist, which is great. And then we also have the max health and dexterity runes on there, really helping with our stats just in general, just giving us that boost. And we have our alabaster band and our amber dimensional band. I don't think I swapped this around much, and I don't think I will. I think this is kind of a permanent stay piece. It's a lot of stats. Strength, dexterity, and move speed is huge. Max health on top of that with the runes for the strength on top of that. Makes it pretty much the ideal piece for you. But then we come over here to this alabaster band. Again, strength, stun chance, amazing. Attack speed, amazing. However, the Band of Universal Power just has slightly more stats, so I do believe I want to run that over this band here. Again, we're running max health and strength on this one as well. And then if we come down to our belt, like I was saying earlier, a Belt of Bloodlust would replace this. I could buy one right now, I just don't really want to. I think I want to buy the Universal Power first, just because I really do like this belt. I do like the melee endurance being on there. It is very helpful to staying tanky. We are also running the max health and movement speed on this belt, so it is also very helpful. That's pretty much it for gear. If we come on over to our skills, as you can see, our skills have not changed from the last video. I legit have been running the same thing, and I've been able to do all of the content with this build. even doing up to tier 3 of the rune dungeons. I have kind of not been keeping up or not been playing the game as much, as you can possibly tell by my levels on my weapons, just because I've kind of hit the end of the game, in my opinion. I mean, there's slight stat boosts that I can get from doing the runes, but with the new patch coming, hopefully they're adding new ways to get runes and make that a little bit easier, a little bit more fun for me, and I will go ahead and continue to play eventually. But as of now, what we are running, I'll go over them again for this video, is Piercing Strike, Cruel Smite, Stunning Blow, Guillotine Blade, Strategic Rush, Chain Hook, Precision Dash, Devastating Smash, Da Vinci's Courage, Counter Barrier, Ascending Slash, and Death Blow. And then over here in passives, now we're running Robust Constitution, Vital Force, Cold Warrior, Indomitable Armor, Resilient Mind, Victor's Morale, Impenetrable, and Morale Boost. So we do have one swap up. I swapped out this right here for our Aegis Shield, just because, again, I was finding myself doing more PvE content, so I felt like this was a little bit better for what I needed. I kept running out of mana, so this kind of offset that just for boss fights. But if you were to run anything else, again, you would probably run Aegis Shield or Gerard's Patience in either of these slots. Gerard's Patience is probably better. Aegis is also really good because it scales with our Shock Commander set. Gives us that extra shield damage reduction, which is also really good. If we come over to our skill specializations, we look at Cruel Smite. We got a Cruel Smite upgrade from Valiant Brawl. Then we got Stunning Blow. We take our Hasten, take our damage increase, effect duration. Da Vinci's Courage, we got our instant healing. That's basically all we want from that. Ascending Slash, we got damage increase, Hasten Arc, and prone duration increase by 1 second, which is also huge. And then we got Precision Dash, giving us a bind and a increased attack range to get a little bit further. And then we got Death Blow with charge damage, and then Hasten Arc to speed up our skill cooldown. We come down to Devastating Smash, we just have an increased stun chance, and Guillotine Blade, we're taking everything in there for the AoE damage, skill cooldown, and the charge damage, which is huge. And if we come over to Sword, we take the point into Shield Strike, giving us Piercing Strike. We come over to Counter Barrier, grabbing cooldown reduction, and Chain Hook taking attack range increase. This just gives us a lot more this survivability for Counter Barrier, Chain Hook to help group mobs, Strategic Rush again to help group mobs. Super useful in dungeons and just pushing through everything really quickly. Our sword and shield, if we come down here on the bottom row, we're taking everything, getting all the way to Blade of Rage, and then what we're going to be doing is taking the top lane here for the stun resistance chance, just to get a lot more tanky. And then if we look at our great sword, what we did is, again, going down the bottom lane to get that heavy melee attack chance. But if we come down into the middle lane, we're going to finish off the cooldown speed, which is also just going to be an all-around DPS increase for us, which is huge. And the last thing I guess I could cover that I didn't cover last time is Guardian. The new Guardian that was released with the spear is actually quite good for your class. Base damage increased by 2%, applying stun or fear. Stacks up to 3 times. So you pop this, pop your stun, and then you get a strategic rush into a wall. That is another stun. Boom, 3 stuns. That's 6% increased base damage, which is quite huge. So that's something to just kind of think about as a tank. If you don't have this Guardian, go ahead and run Revenant. It's a great DPS increase. It also gives you range as a melee character, so you can pull mobs easier as well. It's kind of nice to have. Okay, so we're going to start our combo with Da Vinci's Courage, just to get that extra attack speed, but typically you want to save this in fights to kind of heal yourself. But just to show you the damage that we can do, especially in dungeons, this is kind of what you would want to do. Just pop your attack speed, dash in, guillotine. This one, pop your shield barrier. So it's not crazy damage, but again, it's quite a lot of damage for being a tank, being healthy the entire time, being able to tank every hit basically anyone throws at you. The only real thing that might kill you is if you get hit prone, which shouldn't really happen because no one should really be focusing you enough. But if they are, then just know that it's gonna hurt. But you do have a trinket for that, so make sure you use your trinket. You can upgrade this. I just, again, haven't been playing.